it's his explanation didn't make sense, but his message bothered me. When asked about the injuries, he did what he always does. What really coaches always do. They never want to look at it in the macro sense. They always go micro. Like in the past, if you were dealing with Jim O'Neill, the defensive coordinator under Chip Kelly, be like, Jim, you guys gave up 280 rushing yards for the 8th game in a row. What's the deal? What's the common denominator here? And he would just quibble like, well, there is no common denominator. There was one long run here, one long run here. One guy got out of his gap. There was another issue here. So we don't actually have an issue. It's just 3 bad plays. Okay, well, you just gave yourself an excuse by looking at each thing in the most micro sense possible. But when you step back, it's clear that you have an issue that you haven't figured out. So with Kyle, it's like every year. I mean, he's in his 5th year as a head coach, and there's always injuries with him. They preceded him, but he just doesn't have a solution. Maybe no one has a solution. Maybe it's unsolvable. But when asked about it, like today, what's the deal? How is this still an issue? How is this not going away? What is the pattern here? He just deflects. He'll say, well, I mean, Jeff Wilson Jr. Tore his meniscus standing up. Tavarius Moore tore his Achilles cutting. And Justin School tore his ACL playing football. What do you want me to say? There is no common denominator. There is no pattern. And it's like, yeah, if you look at every single injury on its own, there's no pattern, I guess. But there's 8 years of results here. 8 years of the Niners being among the most injured teams in the league. And I think since Kyle took over, they're the 2nd most injured team in the league. So just going through each injury and being like, well, this one was different than this one, and this one was different than this one, and there's no pattern that we can take, so we're screwed. We're not going to change anything. I don't know, man. Find a pattern. There's a lot of people trying to brainstorm for you, and all you do is sit there like, nah, that ain't it. Nah, that ain't it. Okay, well, it might be because you haven't suggested anything. The other thing is, I asked him, like, what changes have you implemented in your practice schedule to reduce injuries in practice? I was looking for something specific. Not like, have you implemented changes? What changes have you implemented? And he goes, I implement changes all the time. I don't want to talk about it, though. I don't want to get into specifics. Maybe you should. Maybe you should lay it out because whatever you're doing isn't working. Do something else. I'm not impressed by Kyle Shanahan going up there and telling us details of injuries that let him off the hook. Hey, man, injuries happen. It's football. They don't have to happen in June. Like, they're not going to happen next week because you canceled practice. They don't have to happen in June. You're not playing next week. You're not prepared for anything. You're letting some guys who aren't going to make the team compete. So wasn't impressed with the fact that he took zero responsibility. It would have been nice if he said something like, you know what? We're all trying to figure out a common denominator. Clearly, we haven't found it yet. But you know what? I'm the head coach. It's my responsibility. And I'm going to say I'm going to find it. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, you know what? This injury was different than that injury. And what do you want from me? I'm just going to be the head coach and say it's all on me. Don't blame the strength and conditioning staff. Don't blame the players. It's on me. Whatever plan I thought was right for these OTAs wasn't. And maybe it's right for other teams, but our team that has an 8-year streak of being more injured than the average needs to think outside the box, do something unique, change something up. Otherwise, it's insanity. Repeating the same stuff every year and expecting different results is insanity, and we're seeing it again already. So I wasn't really impressed with Kyle Shanahan's attitude in this press conference. Let's answer some questions. All right, hold on. I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss any because I already know you guys are mad. And that's fine. I want you guys to get your say in there. So now media won't see team until training camp. That's right, Jordan. That's right. My egotistic aura says Jimmy G will take us back to the promised land. $4.99. Hey, man, speak it into existence, baby. He didn't get hurt in training camp. That's a good thing. Honestly, it's a good thing more guys didn't get hurt because it seems like a lot of them did. It could have been worse. It's a good thing Kyle shut this thing down. You invest millions into players, can't invest into a better strength and conditioning staff. Shake my head. Yeah, I guess, it's easy to put it on the strength and conditioning staff. It may be on them too, but Kyle, maybe you want a strength and conditioning staff that's demonstrated. Here's the thing. Kyle had Marco Uyama, right? He just got let go from the Vikings. Maybe his time has passed, but when he was on the Niners didn't have injury issues. He was strength and conditioning coach of the year. Then he goes to the Vikings. They don't have injury issues. So maybe whatever this guy Ben Peterson does or Dustin Perry, it seems like they're very good at strength. Look at George Kittle. Look at Nick Bosa. Look at Fred Warner. A lot of these guys in this team have gotten way stronger in this strength and conditioning staff. But where's the conditioning? It seems like maybe these guys are too muscled up. I don't know. But anyway, Kyle Shanahan is the architect of the whole thing. He should be asking these questions. If they're not the right coaching staff, they're not the right strength and conditioning staff, Kyle needs to replace him. No one else is going to do that. That's him. It's on him. Good question, though. All right, hold on. I'm still going. Let's see what we got. V.O. Walker says, could it be the training staff? Anything for it not to be Kyle, right? It could be. It's everyone. Until they figure out the solution to this problem, the attitude in the organization should be, it's all of us. We all need to change something for the better. Get to cracking, get brainstorming. That's how I would think about it. San Fran 49er fan says, Grant, the other reporters were trying to copy you, man. They usually aren't that pressing on Kyle. Everybody going to do the Cohn method now. Man, I thought Kyle got a bunch of non-injury questions that he appreciated. I wasn't going to let him off the hook today. Today was injury press conference, and he was getting questions about Trey Lance. I don't know, man. Grant, I'm not buying your outrage on this one. Kyle sees you coming a mile away now. We can't trust a straight answer from him if you're the one asking. Fair. All right. So you're saying he's just purposely giving me non-answers because it's me? All right. You might be right. I'll have to strategize then because I don't want that. You might be right. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough realization to come to. Dang. I just feel like he may feel like it's personal between him and me, but it's not. I really see myself as being a voice to a large segment of the fans. And so if he tries to, slap me down, he's just basically disrespecting a large segment of his fans who are passionate, but also independent thinkers. They're not just going to go along with everything you do, Kyle, because you said it. I know that's how most football fans are. Maybe that's how they get down in Atlanta, but not out here. They're smart. They like my style of journalism, man. So maybe you should do business with me. I'm not that hard. My dad's a lot harder than me. I'm not that hard. I melt. I'm starstruck still by Kyle Shanahan, man. All I'm saying. Kyle's biggest flaw is not holding himself accountable ever. Yeah, I'd have to say that's great. I agree. And I only got to think is that's something that's been around since that's a Mike Shanahan creation, man. A 41-year-old man can't hold himself accountable. He probably wasn't made to hold himself accountable when he was 11. That's something you learn when you're a kid. I'm just saying.